May the Lord give this council the wisdom, discernment and courage to serve the community. Grant also that we may act compassionately and in integrity in the best interest of this shire. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. I would like to show respect and acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land and elders past, present and future on which this meeting takes place. Thank you, councillors. Welcome to those in the gallery. Great to see so many interested in what's happening. Okay, councillors, we'll move straight into dot point 4, application for attending meeting by video link.
Nil received, Mr. Mayor.
Nil. Apologies, so application for leave of absence by councillors.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we've got a request for leave for 3 months from Councillor Flaherty.
We've got a mover. Move councillor Watts, seconded by councillor Williamson. Comment, question?
Through you, Mr. Chair, could I just ask if this be with or without pay? As if I look at the Act, it says that annual fees to be withheld for any period for not more than 3 months. As Councillor Flaherty has already taken 3 months leave in this term, I believe during the Act it should be without pay.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor. The Act talks about a council can, through within its discretion, limit payment to a councillor for up to 3 months. After 3 months, the council has no choice but to withhold payment. It's not clear whether it's consecutive months or not, but Councillor Flaherty took 3 months last year. So council can either consider that it's non-consecutive and the Act kicks in and therefore no payment is to be paid, or it can use its discretionary powers and choose not to pay for the remaining 3 months, whichever, I guess, interpretation you wish to take.
Thank you, Mr. GM. So I've got a mover for the application of attending the meeting leave of absent. I nearly need to run these two separately then.
Mr. Mayor, you probably just need to get clarification in regard to whether the leave is granted with pay or leave is granted without pay.
Okay, so councillor Watts moved, councillor Williamson second. Are you happy to go grant the leave without pay?
No.
No? Okay,
And can I, through you, Chair, I've put a foreshadow through?
yeah, you'll have to foreshadow.
So I foreshadowed that we grant leave but without pay.
Okay, then we're gonna go with application for leave of absence by a councillor as of the recommendation first. Moved by councillor Watts, seconded by councillor Williamson.
My recommendation is not up. So can we move a recommendation in those words? Because that's, yeah.
It's a little complicated, Mr.
Mr. GM, can I just put forward a recommendation that we move the application for leave of absence with pay? And I've already got a seconder, is that correct?
Yes,
And then
that's
that'll make
that's
it
a
clearer
valid
for you.
motion.
That's clear enough, and I'm going to put that up as is now, just a little bit different, that's all. So those in favour of,
Through you, Mr. Chair, is that the foreshadow still stand?
if this motion is lost. Okay, so hands up for the motion moved by councillor Watts. Is councillor Williamson, Watts and Mackenzie, and against is McPhee, Clout, Campbell and Burns, and myself. So the original motion is lost and now the foreshadowed. Councillor McPhee, everyone clear on councillor McPhee's foreshadow, or you used to speak to it again, councillor?
I think this is the only option because due to the Act, it states quite clearly that you should not be paid if you take more than 3 months pay without leave. So I think it's more in alignment with the Act.
Okay, have I got a seconder? Move seconded by councillor Clout. Okay, I'm going to put that forward now. Those in favour, show of hands. Collison, McPhee, Clout, Campbell and Burns. Against, councillor Mackenzie, Watts and Williamson. Move on to public participation.
There's none, Mr. Mayor.
None. Confirmation of the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 26th of June, 2023. Someone move? Move, councillor Clout, second, councillor Campbell. Any questions?
Councillor Burns.
Councillor Burns, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, move councillor Clout, second, councillor Burns. Any questions, comment, discussion? All in favour? Against? Carried. Disclosure of interest, Mr. GM.
Mr. Mayor, I've had one lodged with me from councillor Burns in regard to item NM 7.2 being the notice of motion for the naming of Manning Lane. He is declaring a non-pecuniary, non-significant interest as his wife employs Mrs. Manning, but he will leave the room.
Thank you. Okay, council will move straight on to the mayoral minute, which I will move. It's 0A07.1, recognition of length of service to Peter Warden. Peter's not here. No. I better go up the front and read it out. Peter Warden commenced with the council on 14th of July 2003 as a field officer working with the concreting crew supervised by Cedric Hawkins. Going back a long way. The first major project completed was the laying of the footpath on McQueen Street in Aberdeen. Peter progressed to the team leader role on the concreting crew, as well as helping on the timber bridges with Mick McBain. We are going back a long time, and Tim Johnson. During this time, some major works completed were the Currajong subdivision, Whitney's Creek Bridge, Merriwar, Jimmy's Bridge, Scotts Creek Road. Peter moved on to the position of work supervisor in 2014, now known as works coordinator. Since being in this role, Peter enjoys looking after the rural road maintenance and has worked on a number of road projects, including Beltries, Gundy, Bunnan roads. Peter particularly enjoys working on the drainage, footpath, curb and gutter and Liverpool Main Street roundabouts as part of the Scone Administration Building Project. Congratulations, Peter, on your successful career so far and your achievements over the past 20 years. Peter, I wish you were here because I think you've got one of the most challenging jobs, looking after the roads in the Upper Hunter Shire. So we thank you very much for your contribution of 20 years and looking forward to you serving for another 20 or more. Thanks, Peter. So I moved that, but I didn't get all in favour. Against? Motion is carried. We move over to page 15 is SCR 07.1 Infrastructure Services Committee. Moved by councillor Campbell, second councillor Clout. Any questions, comment, discussion? All in favour? Against? Motion is carried. Over to page 19, SCR 07.2, the Environmental and Community Services Committee. Move councillor Watts, second councillor Williamson. Questions, comment, discussion? Councillor Watts.
Just a comment to say what a great initiative and great to see the Scone Preschool advancing and having new staff and accommodating new children.
Well said. And Mr. Pringle, just for clarity, the pedestrian crossing that was asked about.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, there was no warrant for a pedestrian crossing at that location.
Thank you very much. And a great thing for the children up there. All in favour? Against? Carried. Over to page 30, SCR 07.3, Corporate Services Committee. Move councillor Williamson, second councillor Mackenzie. Questions, comment, discussion? All in favour? Against? Carried. Over to page 37 is the Community Advisory Committee, Murrundi District. Going to move councillor Burns, second councillor Clout. Any questions, comment, discussion?
comment for a second,
Comment,
Mr.
councillor
Mayor.
Burns.
Mr. Mayor, there was some discussion during this meeting around the the Murrurundi Water Reserve. And they're all very excited about what they can do with that dam. So I'm sure that we'll have some sort of Murrurundi themed water park fairly soon. But they're all very excited. A bit of concern around native animals kept being invited into the town with their problems with deer and whatnot already. But I'm sure we can overcome that with the 10-foot fence that we already have up there. But it is a very excited and welcomed thing.
Thank you, councillor Burns. Any more questions, comment? All in favour? Against? Carried. Over to page 41, the Merriwa Age Hostel Committee. Move councillor Campbell, second. Councillor Williamson. Any questions, comment, discussion? All in favour? Against? Carried. Over to page 45, it's request for donations. We're happy to put the 1, 2, 3 and 4 up together. Move councillor Campbell, second councillor Watts. Any questions, comment, discussion? Councillor Campbell.
Yeah, look, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, I just note that Merriwa Central School is asking for 2 donations. I do believe that they are very worthy of mention, and also the Little Sprouts Day is just a wonderful event for Merriwa, where the business houses and local people join in with the school and read books, and it's encouraging to read the books. We've got one of the best libraries around, and also the variety night that's coming up on Wednesday night, and it's just something great to see that all the kids enjoying that, presenting their little performance. So I'm very happy to move the recommendation.
Thank you, councillor Campbell. We're very fair. We share. We're giving Merriwa 2 bites of the cherry. Any more questions, comment? All in favour? Against? The motion is carried. Over to page 53 is the community consultation for the Scone Cup Public Holiday 2024. Move councillor Watts, second councillor Williamson. Any questions, comment, discussion? Councillor Williamson.
We'll just make a quick comment, as it is the horse's birthday tomorrow. And from the thoroughbred industry, we'll see a lot of activity throughout Scone. There'll be a lot of economic activity from employees that will come into the region, and I wish all of the studs, breeders and handlers the best for the coming season.
Good comment, councillor Williamson. Any other comments, councillor Campbell?
I have one too, Mr. Mayor. I think it's a great thing for those who don't go across to take advantage of the half-day public. Well, that's their decision. But it just brings a lot of people into Scone, into the local area, and they also come from the outlying areas. I just think that those are great things that promote our Scone and also our shire. So I think it's a great event.
Thank you, councillor Campbell. Make sure you give your horse an extra dip of oats tomorrow morning. All in favour? Against? Carried. Over to page 56 is the policy community relations flags. Move councillor Watts, second councillor Clout. Any questions, comment, discussion?
I'll move an amendment, Mr. Mayor.
Amendment, Mr. Burns.
Sorry, that was a bit tough. Amendment exactly as is, just with the page 3 of 4 in the actual policy. The section flying flags at half mast in the 3rd paragraph replace the word will with may. So it'll say Upper Hunter Shire Council may also fly flags.
Happy with that, councillor Watts. Happy the seconder, councillor Clout. Everyone happy? All in favour? Against? Carried. Over to page 62 is the Scone CBD revitalisation street lighting.
So moved.
Move councillor Burns, second councillor Williamson. I'm sure there'll be a question or a comment. Councillor Burns.
I'll open it up, Mr. Mayor. This is an exciting project that we've actually seen coming forward at the moment, $22 million invested into the main street of Scone. Now, as we go, what we're seeing is people are seeing the project managers and the engineers are actually looking at it and going, well, we can make adjustments here in order to make a better product at the end of it. You can't do that in committee, Mr. Mayor. You can't do that in committee. So we have to refer back to the staff's good judgment. They obviously bring it back to us. This has been through the Scone CAC and then it's brought to us to make the final recommendation. $330,000 in real time money saved, Mr. Mayor. That's not made up. That's $330,000 that we've still got in the kitty for this project. So we're saving money as we go. We're doing the best thing that we can fiscally. We're doing the best thing that we can for the people of Scone and the retailers of Scone. And I commend this to the council to vote yes.
Thank you, councillor Burns. I'm not going to add on there as well done, staff. Any other questions or comment? Oh, all in favour? Against? Carried. Okay, over to page 67. Tender supply of services, additional suppliers. Move councillor Watts, second, councillor Campbell. Any questions, comment, discussion? Councillor Williamson.
I would just like to make a comment on here. These three companies, all Lower Hunter companies. Two of them are Lower Hunter companies, and the third one is a very specialist company from the Sydney Basin. And it's terrific that we're bringing in the best of contractors into our works. I do notice in our scope of work, in our contractor list of the 89 contractors we have on our list, 9 of them come from the Upper Hunter. There are a lot of very professional businesses through here doing very specialist work, but it'd be really good to see that proportion increased. And also, I think it's a space where I know we're going through a lot of tender processes through the Lower Hunter, and I think it's a space where we can help our local businesses to engage in markets outside of the Upper Hunter as well as this market here. So perhaps there might be an initiative in the future talking to our contractors, especially earth moving and specialist contractors that work with councils, maybe to take advantage of some of the tenders out there within our shire, but also within other shires, and that will help our residents of the shire. Thank you.
Thank you, councillor Williamson. Any more questions, comment, discussion? All in favour? Against? Carried. To page 76. Notice of motion, Merriwart de-amalgamation community consultation. Move councillor Burns, second. Councillor McPhee. Councillor Burns, do you wish to speak?
I will speak. I open this one up, Mr. Mayor. This saddens me, Mr. Mayor, that there are, in my opinion, few people that want to see our shire ripped in two. They want to see division. They want to see people abused and whatnot on social media. And again, in the ABC not long ago, Mr. Mayor, that was a bit of a left-handed one that I didn't realise was coming. But it far be it from me to deny the people what they want. So let's have community consultation, actually find out what the people want, not just the 5 people on Facebook. Let's actually get some numbers around this. Now, I'm sure that people will think that we'll do this and next week we'll have, if those numbers are unfavourable, then they'll think that we'll be de-amalgamating next week. Well, that's not actually how this works. So let's just explain a little bit how this works. We would do this for 28 days, a period of 28 days, which staff will actually activate, not necessarily tomorrow, might take them a couple of days to figure it out, might take them a few weeks, because they've got to put a lot of information out there. The information will come back to this council, and whether it be favourable or not, we will act based on that information. Now, if it's unfavourable, in my opinion, and Mary Ward do want to leave us, or in actual fact, the people of all the other parts of the Shire say we don't want to have Mary Ward anymore, we would have to send it to the minister. That's the minister's problem then. It is no longer in the hands of the Upper Hunter Shire. It is up to the minister to make a decision. If, though, we get a decision where we have people come back to us and say, no, we don't want to go, we want to be part of it, we actually love you, and we're sick of hearing all this crap, and I beg my colleagues a pardon there, but if they do want to stay with us, then nothing happens. Hasn't cost us a cent. All we're asking is for the people to actually tell us. Now, we have these other things called elections, Mr. Mayor, and they happen every 4 years on average. There's another one in September. So if they don't like the response that they get this time, they can have another crack then, Mr. Mayor. And we'll see what happens then.
Thank you, councillor Burns. Any more comments? Councillor McPhee.
I've also heard some people in Mary Ward say that they'd love to be amalgamated, and I don't think it's probably the best in their best interest financially. And I think we are stronger as an Upper Hunter Shire. But I think this would give people the opportunity to see how much it would actually cost them if they were to go out on their own, what it would mean for them in the long-term financial losses. I don't think financially it would be very beneficial to them. But if this is desperately what the majority of people in Mary Ward want, then they have that opportunity. If they decide to look at the numbers, it might be a really good opportunity for us to work together, because there have been mentions that the amalgamation was perhaps not the most of seamless ones. So it may give us a good baseline to work to a better and a more favourable relationship between the Mary Ward and Councillor Cassilis and the rest of the Shire.
Thank you, councillor McPhee. Councillor Clout. Just a comment, is it? Just a comment?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. I hope that everybody actually looks at the economics of this rather than just voting or just writing in a submission on an opinion that you're unhappy with the Shire as it is and you'd like to de-amalgamate. I hope everybody has a look at how much it's going to cost a Mary Ward Shire to stand alone, and they consider the feasibility of it, because nearly 20 years of being one Shire has definitely changed a lot of things economically. So I hope that people actually consider the impacts rather than just trying to voice an opinion. Thanks.
Thank you, councillor Clout. Any more questions, comments? Councillor Campbell.
If I may, thank you, Mr. Mayor. As a resident of Mary Ward for 60 odd years, and I was also a councillor on the original Mary Ward Council for a short period of time. There are people, and I've been very much aware of a very vocal minority, and I'll say a minority, that want to de-amalgamate, and they seem to live in the past, and they consider some of the funds that were available in the past to the Mary Ward Shire. When I became a councillor, I also spoke and asked regarding the amount of money that each Shire took into the when they were amalgamated, and the local idea around Mary Ward was the fact that it was an extremely financial Shire, and it was really just propping up Scone. However, the figures don't tell that, and I think I've spoke to Mr. Pryor regarding that. No, Mary Ward wasn't running very well at all. I knew the general manager, knew him on a personal note. He and his wife, they were very fine people. And anyone that could bring the Shire into a credit position would have been that general manager. I also agree with the fact that there seems to be this air of, if anyone else in the Shire, any other area in the Shire gets $100, that Mary Ward should get the same. I have never at any time agreed with that point of view. And the current idea is the fact that all the money that from rates from Mary Ward should go into the Mary Ward area. Now, I think that I think that has been proved to be wrong. The amount of money that was spent in Merriwar exceeds what the rate that we have. We also got to remember too that what happens with rates, that we all benefit. Those at Gundy benefit from some of the rates of Merriwar, but don't forget that Merriwar benefits from the rates of our other smaller centres too. And I think that the General Manager has given us an overview of some of the rates and some of the advantages that we do have at Merriwar. And I think that all these figures, and I'd like to see some very precise figures, go before when these meetings take place. Because I think then that we start to realise what an advantage there is in being part of the Upper Hunter Shire Council. I've always agreed with the fact that the larger area, it's our rating base. That's why there was an amalgamation. I didn't think it was a good idea at the time. I voted against it. But you have to look at that. What is the basis, the rating base that you can obtain money? Anyway, Mr. Mayor, I could go on for a little while, but I can see he's just about ready to time me out. However, I believe that I've also been very concerned with the fact that the New South Wales Farmers Association Merriwar branch to call for an investigation into the de-amalgamation of councils. I'm a member of the New South Wales Farmers, been there for the length of time I've been in Merriwar, and I am very concerned, and I have brought that to the notice of the new chairman, the fact that I would have expected the New South Wales Farmers to support council in their endeavours to obtain funds, also for the MR358, which so much people that have just continuously bring that back up. I think it's an absolute disgrace that be done, especially as council has gone to the expense and also gone to the international engineers to obtain the restoration of that road, and also the fact that it's going to be the Transport for New South Wales representative, and PWG is going to run the thing. So I just think that it's time to, yes, certainly to bring these out, let everybody have a say. However, what percentage are we going to take the fact that which is going to be for or against? Do we have any idea of that?
Thank you, Councillor Burns. Yeah. Thank you, Councillor. Thank you, Councillor Campbell.
Can I be really quick? Just
Councillor.
in saying something. I actually was elected onto the Shire when we first amalgamated. There was a lot of community consultation along the way. It didn't just happen. But I think I'm happy to support this, and the reasoning behind that is we have gone on to a new generation of people, and I'm happy to listen to what their thoughts are.
Thank you, Councillor Watts.
Can I just close out debate? Oh, sorry.
Councillor Burns.
I just want to make the point very clear that there won't be any meetings, Councillor Campbell, through you, Mr. Mayor. There won't be any meetings. If you want to have a say in this, you're going to actually have to put pen to paper or type, or it won't be accessible over Facebook. We won't be listening to anything else. No other medium other than that we would use a DA. It's a very simple system. It's a very good system that we know works. So we'll continue to utilise that. There won't be any meetings. We're not sending staff out there to waste time and money. This is going to cost us nothing. If people want to say, they're going to have to actually stick their hand up this time.
Thank you, Councillor Burns. Any other comment? I'll just make one more comment. The old Merriwar boundary, I think that the Shire collect about $2.9 million worth of rates. Grant funding is around about 2 million. That's 4.9 million in income, and we spend around 6 million. So I think we have got things reasonably spread across. But I think it's a great idea. Go out to the community and see what the feedback is. Right, no more comments, questions? All in favour? Against? The motion is carried. Over to page 78. Notice of motion to Manning Lane. Councillor Burns is leaving. I will move this, councillors. This was spoke about some years ago with council, but we've never actually, I thought we actually moved the motion some years ago, but we actually haven't got anything on paper. So that's the idea. And I also believe that the Mannings did donate some land down the back of Farrams Lane there somewhere. But anyway, that the motion's in front of you, councillors. I'll move it. We've got a seconder. Move second by councillor Clout. Any questions, comment, discussion? Oh, all in favour? The motion is carried. Over to page 79, correspondence. Councillors, you see it all in front of you there? Oh, sorry, Mr. Burns. That was in the affirmative. Thank you. Okay, correspondence. Council note the correspondence received from Honourable Ron, Minister for Local Government. Move councillor Watts, second. Councillor Mackenzie. Questions, comment, discussion.
Just a comment to say that's a much better reply in the letter. Thank you.
Thank you, councillor Watts.
I have another comment. Although it's maybe a better reply, it's still an unacceptable one because they're still offloading their costs to us. The state government is still then putting more pressure, financial pressure on local government without any financial help. And that's going to stretch us in our projects. So it's longer and prettier words, but it's still unacceptable.
Thank you, councillor McPhee. All in favour of the recommendation? Against? Motion is carried. Over to page 83. Can someone move us into confidential, please? Move councillor McPhee, second councillor Mackenzie. All in favour? Against? Carried.